Hello, ye studious YouTubers. May the studious Wadi bring us a pleasurable experience here in part 5 of Horizon Forbidden West with a Therapist. I am so glad that you are 5 episodes in with us. I hope that you've been enjoying yourselves. I know that the last episode was a little bit slower on the analysis front. I have a sense that today might be a little bit more juicy. But thank you for all of your support. Please make sure that you leave a thumbs up, comment down below, share these videos with people. Seriously, y'all that are sharing these videos, it shows. Really grateful for it. Even if you're years in the future, share this stuff. It really helps the channel a lot. Follow the links down in the description. Would love to see you live sometime. And those of you that make the effort to come over from YouTube to Twitch and say hi, thanks for doing that. All right, I'm sure this is going to be so pleasurable. I've been looking forward to talking to this guy since the last episode. He's the coolest guy we've met so far. So let's see what he's got to offer. Just remember my analysis from part 2. Okay? This guy has been raised in a ridiculously insular space, and it is why he is so insufferable, is because he just has not had a diversified palette to be able to handle this stuff in any kind of meaningful way and know who he's talking to. So I'm going to do my best to stay empathic, despite the fact that he is pretty obnoxious. Wadi, my man!
The way to Barren Light is clear. Get moving.
You're not errand vanguardsman. I will move only when the captain
When
says...
I've cleared out all the bristlebacks, which I have. Captain's orders.
So they're okay?
Banged up, but breathing. And waiting up ahead for you.
But I was supposed to have 3 escorts.
I'm off to Barren Light, Wadis. Like Aloy said, Captain's orders. You can stay here.
Abandoned to the riffraff? I think not.
Guess you're coming with me then. See you there, Aloy.
Truly, this is a microcosm of the way in which human constructs create hierarchies and structure that nobody ever actually has to follow, but we do because of the meaning we make out of it and because of the attributions we make. Wadi is reliant upon a collectively agreed upon structure that dictates that because he is in the chosen profession and calling that he's in, he matters. And that people who are working and are in the trenches doing the work that nobody else wants to do are riffraff and are thus below him because they do not have the ability to interact with the sun in the way that a priest does. All of that is arbitrary. All of that is social construction. So when the guy with the wagon stands up and says, well, I'm going regardless of whether you want it or not, that's a recognition of where the actual power is. And there are a lot of people with symbolic power that do their damnedest to try to get the people who have the actual power to believe that they do not. And we have a tendency to buy in, particularly when things are structured in such a way that those things are able to be perpetuated in a way that is the norm, where you don't think about it critically. Because it can be incredibly painful to think about hierarchical societal structures because you start to realize that like some people are really only in power because we've decided that what they do is important. Or that they've decided what they do is important and have the mechanisms to be able to oppress other people. The reality is humans are really not much different than any other animal in the sense that really the only power that you actually have over other humans is physical prowess. Like, beating somebody up is the most primitive form of power. And there's a reason that, like, every other animal essentially fights for its survival. That, like, and humans are really no different. Like, the idea that this guy's a priest and that makes him more powerful and relevant than a person who cleans out the sewers is all decided via symbols and language and bullshit that humans have come up with. And if you could get people to collectively understand that, you would get a bit more of what happened here, which is the guy with the cart's like, well, you make your decision, bud, of whether you want to come with me. I'm going. And the guy goes, and then you see him. He goes, ah! And compensates for it by saying, I don't want to be left with the riffraff. So he's doing what he can linguistically to try to maintain this symbolic sense of power, despite the fact that that guy is showing him, I've got the power because I have the ability to survive what I'm going to go do, and you don't, because you're weak as shit, because you wear robes with no armor. You're a delicate little flower, but you're acting like you are a lion.
Well, now that that's done, the embassy can finally get underway. If I can get through it, I'll be able to track down Silence, Hades, maybe even a Gaia backup. Guess I could head straight for Barren Light. Or poke around the Daunt some more first.
I really thought there was going to be more to that. Oh well.
Good looking. You old scrounger.
We got more quests though. So that's exciting. DrMick, use your skill points for Christ's sake. I see him. We'll get there. Just chill.
Who said that?
Yeah, there's no way this is going to go super smooth. But I feel like it's important to belabor this point a little bit. Like, the thing is that Voidi has been raised and reinforced that he can take that stance. Like, Voidi believing that he's more important than everybody else is not something that is necessarily like a conscious, malicious choice. I think he truly believes that he matters more than the other people around him. That's cultivated relationally. So him being in this position where he tries to continue to perpetuate that amongst people who either don't care or actively want to show him that he doesn't matter, he's not going to immediately say, oh, you're right, I'm a pretentious prick, so I'm gonna chill out and I'm gonna be cool and I'm gonna help this guy push the cart and I'm gonna be nice to the people around me and I'm gonna recognize the worth of all the people that are in this space. He's not gonna do that. Not many people would. He's going to double down on what he knows because he's having an experience that's in violation to his expectation and into his like self-image. So he's going to start to craft additional stories that hold in place the idea that he is in fact a dignitary that matters more than the people around him. It's why being passive-aggressive or mean or whatever to him, while it might be cathartic, is not actually going to make a huge difference. You have to have a collective show of force that essentially breaks his spirit on his narratives and really shows him that what he has to offer is not important in the way that this environment needs. And then after you've broken his spirit, you have to invite him back in as a person who now realizes the context that he is a part of. And like, that sounds harsh, but that's really the only way you're going to get through to him, because he's going to consistently double down on this constructed sense that he's more important. It's got to be a collective effort, which is why unions are so important in a lot of ways, because a union standing up to a executive or a corpo or whatever is the reminder that your bullshit doesn't work with the people who do the thing that puts you in the position that you're in. Or like, you're not going to come in here like a battering ram and tell us that we're pieces of shit. We're going to show you the area that you're in that we've all collectively agreed upon. Like, we're going to force that custom on you. And after you've been broken, and now you understand us, and you understand why the way you came in here was wrong, now we'll give you a chance to assimilate it. That's hard interpersonal work, man.
Didn't expect to see you up and about. What's it take to get it? Another. How goes it, Hammerhead?
Petra, what do you
Hey
need?
there, flame hair.
Iridian needs a challenge. Play some strike.
Aloy. Back for more, huh? Another round here? Heard you've been busy. As for me, I'm gonna need a few more of these before I get back to the forge.
Is there something on your mind?
Well, things aren't as bad since you got this place running again. But we still got Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. If you don't put that down, I'll come over there and show you how that game ends. Anyway, right now, I'm just worried about those refugees out from Sunfall. To come all this way enduring Forge knows what.
Yeah, I saw. They won't let anyone up the old trailhead southwest of here.
And therein lies the problem. A Stormbird crashed up on the cliffs last week, and Tallen Cleanbrokers had his eye on the salvage ever since. But the refugees have barred entrance. Mustn't interrupt their sun-scorched ritual. Something about finding a twilight path.
Huh. I never heard them talk about that before.
Yeah, well, these particular Shadow Karja are an odd bunch. But overall, they're peaceful folk. Not that it matters to Tallen. He'll crack some heads to get to that salvage. Maybe you could swing by, convince him to set up camp somewhere else?
What else can you tell me about the Shadow Karja refugees?
Well, they don't call themselves Shadow Karja for one. At least, not anymore. They're some other brand of sun-crazed. But whatever side of the sun they're on, they're peaceful through and through. Don't seem to want for nothing except a place to live, pray, and just enough food to keep from starving.
So they're just camped outside by a trail, blocking entry to a wrecked Stormbird, waiting for what exactly?
Don't rightly know, but I'll tell you this. Should they ever wise up and salvage it, a Stormbird heart is worth a lot. And if they get there first, then by Ostrom law, it's theirs. Not that Tallen Cleanbrokers ever lost sleep over any law breaking.
Who is this Tallen Cleanbroker?
Just some chuff-huffing pondsman. Got a shop here in town. Lived in Chainscrape since there was a Chainscrape. He and Ulvin go back a ways. Like a pair of coals and a campfire, those two.
So Tallen works for Ulvin?
Ha! Ulvin might think so, but Tallen scrapes up his own scams. And he ain't the type to let a few refugees get between him and Stormbird salvage.
Okay, so this is not explicitly in this exchange, but I want to set what I believe is a very important tone for how we handle these types of situations throughout the rest of the playthrough. Because I could repeat this every time we talk to somebody about somebody we haven't met. So I want to just, I've talked about it offhanded up until this point, but I'm going to be very direct about it here. When you are presented information about somebody that you yourself have never met and don't know anything about, you have to be very careful with how you internalize what you've been told. And the way that you can mitigate the chance that you're going to whiff interpersonally, should you ever cross paths with the person that has been described to you, is to only take into account the facts that a person shares with you, not their interpretations of it. So there's a difference between Petra saying, this guy has brokered deals with Karja and he's broken the law a few times, and he is super interested in finding salvage, as evidenced by the fact that he almost always makes an effort to get to salvage sites. Those are facts. He's gone to salvage sites. He's brokered deals. He was, even if it was like, he spoke to me in a way I didn't appreciate. He was aggressive toward me. These are all things that you can file away and work with. But when you start getting into interpretation of a person, you have to be very careful, because the interpretation of him is, in this case, about Petra. It's not about him. So you can sometimes walk away from a conversation like this feeling as if you know more about somebody, but you really don't. You know more about Petra's orientation toward him. So if she was to say something like, he's a really conniving, scheming person, or he's a piece of shit, or he's amazing. He really just is a good dude who wants the best for everyone. Those are interpretations based on data that she's witnessed, but is really about the way that she has synthesized that information. So if Aloy walks away from this table sharing those perceptions and interpretations, she's liable to miss the mark if she actually meets him. Because you go in there with preconceived notions about who somebody is, what their agenda is, in a way that may not actually be accurate or the whole picture. You might think their motivations are different from when they actually are. As opposed to if you go into that situation holding into your mind the facts of like what a person has done, what this other person has witnessed. So yes, it would be difficult for Aloy to stay neutral towards Tallen because of the way that Petra just pitched him, because Aloy is going to be more trusting of Petra. But this is why I really, really, really want to make sure that I make this point. Because I have no doubt that throughout this game, there are going to be people who tell us about other people that we have not met yet, and we do not want to act like we know them just because we've received that information. You want to use your own eyes and ears. Now, if a person says, like if Petra said, the last time I hung out with Tallen, he punched me in the face, and he called me a bitch, and he took my money, I can make a decision about what that means for me when I meet with him next. Like, it's okay for her to say that. But if Petra didn't have that experience, and she just is like, I get a sense that he's like an abusive prick who will do anything to get over on people. But we don't have any like data that supports that. It's just an interpretation or a perception or a hunch. You got to be really careful that you don't buy into that just because you trust Petra. It's very difficult to do. And we all do it. It's impossible to do it perfectly. But it's really important to keep that in mind. We don't know shit about this guy other than what Petra just told us. And we're going to make our own interpretations, and we're going to draw our own conclusions if and when we meet him. If we decide to go meet him. And the best way for me to help people in some sort of gain empathy for this, what I'm saying here, is ask yourself, if somebody met you, would you want them to engage with you based on preconceived notions about you that they learned from other people before they met you? Or would you want them to give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a chance to show them who you are?
So the bristlebacks and the Daunt.
You're a pig. Blasted things, those bristlebacks. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But bless the bellows, you cleared them out and got this place working again. That put a dent in Ulvin's plans. Now, if only there was some way to smash them all together and run them out of town.
But how could Bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the Bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for them. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the...
About that.
We already heard her say that.
I'm working on it.
By the forge.
Yep, alright, we already talked about that.
If I'm
Alright.
up that way, I'll talk to the refugees. Try to convince them to move.
Much appreciated. They have it rough. Don't need Tallen making it rougher.
I mean, so her desire to have us intervene there
Just
seems to
Tallen
come from a
has
place of
show up here
empathy.
in Chain Scrape. I could have a word with him first.
Absolutely, we're going to do that. We are absolutely going to talk to him first.
Whoa!
Man, here I thought we were going to be done with this place. What's up, Tallen?
Ho there!
No, it's you. The machine hunter that bailed out the Karja.
Never heard it put that way before.
What do you want?
Heard you've been hassling refugees up by the cliffs.
Yeah, well, you heard wrong. There's salvage up there. A stormbird. Nailed him myself with the harpoon here in town. Not an easy shot if I do say so myself. Heck,
Okay. Case in point here. Notice that Aloy walked into this guy's shop already with her feathers ruffled. Like, this guy's not the most, doesn't appear to be the most, like, soft and kind and easy to approach person in the world, but Aloy also came in a bit riled up. And he can feel that energy. And this is exactly what I was talking about. If Aloy comes in and she's a bit more like, hey, like, what's up, man? I heard that there's some stuff going on. Like, if she stays to the facts and tries to get his perspective on it and he's still kind of a dick to her, then she can start to be like, all right. Like, you start working with what you are perceiving. But she's not pouring gas on the fire, but she's absolutely catalyzing a bit of a hostile interaction here. And you see, she's pacing. She's side-eyeing him. She's got a tone in her voice. And all of that is because she was primed by Petra. And so Aloy's coming in here thinking she knows something about him. And that puts him in a position that he's going to defend. Many of us would. Now, he could be a dick. I don't know that, though. And Aloy didn't help us by coming in like this. Because, of course, he's going to... Like, look, we're animals, man. If you come into a situation with any kind of aggression, we are primed to pick that up. And we are going to have a physiological response to that. And some of it is going to be in the form of posturing. It's survival. It's evolution. It's being an animal. In the same way, if you look a gorilla in the eyes, it's going to get pissed off and start beating its chest. Humans do the same kind of thing. It's just a lot more subtle and nuanced. So I really want to point that out because Aloy literally just followed up on the point that I made back in the bar.
clipped its wing. And it crashed into the old tower up there. Killed it quick. Yeah, so if anyone's hassling anyone, it's the Shadow Karja filth that's blocking the way up to my claim.
And you're ready to crack some skulls to get to it?
No need. It's a raggedy bunch. Probably all starve before I have to lift a finger.
We'll see about that.
Oh yeah, we will, won't we? Now, shop's closed to Carja lovers. On your blasted way.
To be fair to Aloy, he did the same thing. Like, he basically was like, you're a Carja sympathizer, so, like, he didn't... It's not like he was Mr. Soft Teddy Bear when she walked into the warehouse. Okay, I don't want to make it seem like I'm only blaming Aloy for that exchange. But the fact that this exchange was completely worthless is due to the fact that each of them engaged with the other with preconceived notions rather than allowing themselves to have an authentic interpersonal experience. That's the problem. Worthless conversation. That guy has his reasons that he's pissed. I was like watching a Twitter spat, IRL. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Ignoring me again?
I'm sorry, I'll be right with you.
Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying it's overkill.
It's a weapon! Kill is the point.
Not if it blows the user's arm off. Oh, just stop talking.
Where are we? So, you look like someone who's always searching for a new weapon. Am I right?
Actually,
But you're just nuts. I'm a customer.
I'm not a customer.
I got it! Triple the powder. It'll blow a Strider sky high. Ba-boom. One shot kill. Guaranteed.
Maybe I am.
Then you are in the right place at the right time, Red.
How would you like to be the proud owner of the world's first machine-enhanced,
Explosive, done in one, machine wrecking, yet perfectly safe, javelin thrower.
I'm intrigued.
Are you two from around here?
Nah, the claim. Dad sent us out west in search of some unknown opportunity. Said we'll know it when we see it.
Sounds like you had other ideas.
Let's just say that opening another trading post for my parents isn't how I want to make my mark in this world. I imagine traveling alone must be nice.
So she's your partner?
My apprentice and my sister. She's why we're out here. There was an incident. Another incident.
Involving explosives?
Ba-boom! And Dad's precious homebrew. He shipped us out the next day.
Huh.
Okay.
Tell me more about this weapon of yours.
Saw a scroll when I was a kid by some Karja scholar who wandered out west. Had a scary drawing of a Tenakth warrior hunting with a kind of javelin thrower. Effective? Yes. Basic? Undoubtedly. But coming out here made me remember it. And I am on the brink of vastly improving the tool's archaic design. Whereas I will perfect it. I can use machine parts to enhance the user's throw, increase the projectile's velocity. Well, Boomer here is adamant that enhancing the projectile is better. Namely with explosive tips. Boomsticks.
Why not both?
That could work. There's one small snag. I need the parts to make the first working model. Well, for starters, I'll need charger horns. Intact.
Got 'em.
Yeah, that. Just be sure to shoot them off before the machine goes down. Otherwise, they break.
Never mind.
But the real innovation, and keep it to yourself, is a fang horn rib. There's a mean one east of here. Blow it sky high. Boomer! You get him for me. It's yours. My treat.
You have a deal.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Boomer. I'll get that done. Being named Boomer was an unfortunate name like 900 years ago, but you're good now. All right. So... Bigger boom. That's pretty close. So let's go do that. Let's go get this javelin.
I could get around faster if I find a charger to override.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about that though,
Override
Aloy.
one of these chargers. I have to go in quiet so I don't spook the herd. Steady.
Right. Yeah. Gather a rib and gather... Okay, gather charger. Override a charger and steal the horns. I'm gonna go get the horns first. And we'll let them respawn. Alright. So you gotta shoot the horn off before you kill it. Like that. And like that. And like that. Yeah. Freaking sniper, man. Alright, let's I guess we might as well override this guy. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Easy, bud. There we go.
Boomer said that Fanghorn should be nearby.
Oh, are you? No, you're not a Fanghorn.
Could use
Yes, you
frost
are.
ammo against it. Here's the Fanghorn. Gonna have to take it down to get its rib. Down it goes. Should be able to harvest its rib now. Got everything I need for Della and Boomer. Now, to see about that weapon of theirs.
Yeah! Good shit. Alright. So, that's good. We'll go... Yeah. Alright, let's go do that. Let's go see what's up. Because we're gonna go... Yeah, so we're gonna go up to that tower. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Can't override that now. Need to get data from the cauldron, if I can find one.
Will this be a weapon you try out? I'll probably shoot it like once. Unless it's ridiculously cool, in which case I'll shoot it more than once. Hop across, bud! Oh, God. Oh, yeah, there you go. Hell yeah. Does the charger control better in this game? It seems like it, yeah. I appreciate the offset camera angle.
Them shadow cards are taking
Those
them.
people are under attack.
Hey! You up there! Aren't you gonna help?
Not my job. I'm just here to keep an eye on things for change rate.
More machines on their way. Get to safety. I'll handle the rest.
Go, Lakasha. I'll help the Nora.
All right, Nora. Let's see what you can do.
See what I can do. I already saved the world once, bud.
That's the last of them. Better check on the refugees.
Guess the show's over.
Guess so.
Lie still.
Oh shit.
You defended the order bravely. Easy now.
Eris Morn! Use your hive magic.
Is it bad, Lakasha?
Shh, now. Everything will be fine.
Is everyone okay?
Bruised, but not buried. Our order will live to see another day.
Are you sure about that?
We're no strangers to hardship, Nora. We've crossed half the Sundom with no more than the clothes on our backs. And as soon as our Sun Priest returns, our path will be clear. For now, we wait.
Well, you're better off waiting somewhere else. Your people need shelter. There's a town east of...
Chainscrape. Yes. We know of it. Savohar says it's not suitable for us.
Who?
Our Sun Priest. Our order has made it this far thanks to his guiding light.
Okay, and where is this Savohar?
He went up to the tower to meditate 3 days ago, and he won't come down until the sun shows him the way to our new home. The fallen storm bird is an omen, he said. And of course, it must be.
I see. And how long do you plan on waiting for him?
Until he returns. He will return. He must.
First of all, Challenged Ethos, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. That's ridiculously generous of you. Thank you. Boy. Again, such a beautiful reminder that perspective and context is so important to how people craft their understanding of the world and the things that happen in it. These people have decided that the Stormbird falling upon the watchtower is an omen. An omen being this abstract explanation that is seen as really certainty that there is a connection between the crashing of the Stormbird and some other phenomenon in the world, whatever that may be. It's a predictor of something. Now, there are some folks that are going to hear that and say, no. And then there are other people that will be like, well, it could be. And the problem is, because that is so uncertain and abstract, really the Stormbird could be a omen that predicts any kind of thing that happens, and you could just tie them together and decide that they were tied together and go about your day. But what's interesting about it is we know that that Stormbird was shot down by Tallen and just happened to land up there. So does that negate the symbolic meaning that these people are making out of the Stormbird's crash just because we know the explanation for why? Or do they choose to say, well, regardless of how the Stormbird crashed, a Stormbird crashed, and that matters to us, that means something to us? And the reason I even bring this up is because reality is, in some ways, what you make of it. It's the narrative you decide to tell yourself based on a phenomenon that you experience through your senses. In this case, they see a Stormbird crash into the watchtower and say, that's an omen. And that is going to drastically affect the behavioral choices they make. Which is why I talk so often about the power of language and meaning making and taking accountability for your decisions, because you could have 5 different people witness that Stormbird and have 5 entirely different perceptions and meanings that are made out of that. Which one is right? Most people are going to bias themselves toward what they believe. Or in some cases to the known variables of the science or the witnessing of what happened. Like, guy shot arrow into Stormbird crashed. Observation, good. That's my truth. Doesn't mean anything other than that guy shot a Stormbird and happened to hit the tower. These other people have decided to take an extra step. That becomes detrimental if it leads to culty behaviors where people are essentially losing their autonomy to a group and are in danger because they are continuing to wait for this guy to come down because he saw a Stormbird and said it's an omen, and now they're getting relentlessly attacked and are in danger because of it. Like, that's where we start wanting to hold some of these types of things potentially accountable. But it's very hard to do when you have cult vibes.
You're Shadow Karja, aren't you?
We are the Order of Twilight.
The difference being...
When the usurper Avad killed his father, we fled with the Karja in shadow to Sunfall. Our lives there were difficult. Savohar saw our misery, lifted us up, protected us from the corrupt priests and heartless kestrels. When their rule ended, Savohar led us from the Shadowlands. The long night ends, and the setting sun will lead us to salvation, he said. And so he named us the Order of Twilight. We journeyed west in search of a better life.
Why didn't you go back to Meridian?
Avad is a patricide. We will not kneel to the likes of him.
Strap in! So we're going to talk about how this happens. If you've watched some of my other playthroughs, you probably have some idea of what I'm going to say, but it bears repeating here. How do cults happen? Cults are a ridiculously powerful force. And you would be surprised, potentially, at how easy they are to form, as long as you have the right circumstances. You have people that experienced pain, suffering, marginalization. They had experiences that were likely not particularly pleasant. They were alienated. They are alone. They are vulnerable. And they are in desperate search of connection and answers to the uncertainties of the world and their experiences. That's a really awful position to be in from a survival standpoint. Humans are relational animals. Humans survive in groups. Humans survive by the collective productivity of each other to an extent. Like the house that you live in, the environment that you're in, like all of that is, buildings constructed by humans. Like we have these very sophisticated ways of taking care of each other now, but ultimately that interpersonal connection is deeply important. And so when you are alone and vulnerable and marginalized and harmed and don't have a lot of good answers, it is an amazing respite when somebody with charisma comes along and gives you that answer and takes care of you and provides the safety, security of interpersonal relationship, of doctrine, all of these things. So this guy comes around and he's like, hey, we are the people of the Twilight, and we have been experiencing all of this awfulness for a long time. I have the answers. I know how to get us to salvation. We have this group of people that is bought into this, so there's a false sense of legitimacy to it. I can provide you what you need. Join the group, and I will make sure that you never experience that pain ever again. And then you slowly cultivate a sense that this group is the only thing that can meet your needs, and that anybody that's outside of the group either doesn't understand your needs and thus cannot meet them, doesn't understand you, doesn't understand our way of engaging with the reality around us. And so we have to stick together. Yes, we've been chosen. We are special. We have an understanding that a lot of these people don't have. And if all of a sudden you start to feel a sense of empowerment as the result of that, you are going to attach yourself to that group. And something that makes people uncomfortable when I say this in these playthroughs is that literally all of us, if under the right circumstances, are susceptible to joining cults. All of us, no matter how immune you think you are, you absolutely could be inducted into a cult if the circumstances were correct and that group could offer it. Because cults don't show up at your door and say, hi, we're a cult. You should join us. Because if they did that, they wouldn't have members. Because people generally understand that cults are not good. It is so rare for a cult to actually identify itself as a cult. It is a slow burn. It's a slow burn of belonging and answers and charisma and purpose and connection. You stoke those flames for a long time. You create the us versus them mentality. You provide for people safety and security in a way that they were not experiencing, and then you've got them hooked. And getting people deprogrammed from cults is ridiculously hard. Oftentimes because people will feel afraid to leave, if for no other reason because of all of the abstract worries that they've been told come along with that. But sometimes it's dangerous to leave a cult because financial ramifications can happen, resource ramifications. You're cast out, you're excommunicated, you've been cut off from all of your other support systems. These things are very powerful forces. People do not like uncertainty. People do not like being afraid. They do not like being marginalized. We all want to be safe, secure, have interpersonal connections, and feel like we have an understanding of what the actual reality is. And there are people that are really good at spinning that in their favor. And they will get people to blow past any boundaries that they ever imagined that they would have. Powerful force. So that's how these people got to be where they are. So when I engage with this woman, my thought process, if I'm Aloy, is not, well, this is a wackadoodle cult member. Which is how a lot of people tend to engage with that kind of thing. Your reaction to this, my hope would be, is, oh man, this is a person who is being taken advantage of. It's not necessarily my responsibility to convince her of that, but I view her as a sympathetic figure. One whose circumstances led her to a place where she got answers that she was desperately looking for. It sucks that she's been inducted into this, but you are not going to get somebody out of a cult just because you show up and tell them they're in one and that it's dangerous. It's not that easy. They are purposefully constructed in such a way that Aloy is immediately pinned as an outsider who doesn't understand and is not acting in their best interests. It's scary. It's really scary stuff. Even if you start presenting perfectly great evidence to the contrary of what it is that cult is believing it supports, getting people away from that it's a monumentally difficult task.
We must walk in twilight to our new home. Savohar will lead us there.
Uh-huh.
Like, look at Avad is a masochist. Like, our experience hasn't been that, but they've been told that that's the case, and they believe it. Probably because they've had some shitty experiences, and it's an easy thing to blame. And this guy pinned them against that. I'm not saying that they have to believe that Avad is their savior, but this is how this happens.
There's an Oseram in Chainscrape, Tallen. He wants the Stormbird up there.
Yes. He was here just yesterday. A very unpleasant man, even by Oseram standards. He made all manner of threats. But we will not be intimidated.
That's all well and good, but he's got friends. Sooner or later, his whole gang will show up.
Savohar will come through. He always does. We just need to give him more time.
You're out of time, Lakasha. You need to consider packing up and—
We won't leave him. And we won't let others disrupt his meditation.
Aloy has no chance here. She has no chance here unless she is able to get really deep down in the depths of empathy here. Like, Aloy coming in here trying to throw logic and fear and all this stuff is just not going to get these people to move. Aloy has to take a second and understand where these people are coming from. Understand where their resolve is at. Like, you just watch them get attacked by a shitload of machines, and she's not fazed at all because she has placed her trust in this dude who's up there frolicking around the Stormbird. Like, these people have a story that they are fully connected to here. So Aloy coming in here and saying, pack your shit and go, is not gonna do it. Aloy would do much better here to engage her with curiosity. What would help you leave? Is there anything that I can assist you in? I believe you are in great danger because of the fact that this guy wants to come up here, and I am giving you fair warning. There are rumblings that you guys being in this position is a problem, and I'd like to help you guys be safe. Is there anything I can do to facilitate that? And if she says no, get out of my face, well, I've done what I can. But coming in here like a battering ram on this is not the way, and you can see that Aloy's getting frustrated, and she's ramping up, and she's doubling down, and that's not gonna... This woman's gonna outlast her. 10 times out of 10. She's got no chance here unless she gets into empathy.
Well, they're going to try.
How much overlap is there between cults and politics or similar methods used to create extremist groups? Yes, absolutely. And if you pay attention, you can see where that happens. One of the best ways to identify, I think I talked about this in an earlier, and I'm not going to diatribe about this too much, but one of the best ways for you to get a sense if a person or a group of people has been inducted in some way into, not even necessarily into a cult, but into like a very myopic way of thinking about something, is to ask them curiosity-based questions that get them to explain why it is that they believe what they believe. And sometimes you will find that there is either a script that people will follow, or they don't exactly know why they believe and feel the way that they feel. They just know that they feel it and that the collective that they're around also experiences it. That's usually an indication that people have been inducted in some way rather than critically thought their way into a space. Like, if you hate somebody because you just do, and because you were told you were supposed to, and you didn't actually critically think about why you were not a fan of a particular type of person, or you're reading from a script when you answer that question, it's a recognition that, like, perhaps you've been inducted in a way that's antithetical to you actually critically thinking about the inputs from the environment that are coming your way.
Your priest, Savohar. You said he's been up there 3 days?
His meditation can't be rushed.
So he does this often? Meditating for days on end?
Well, it doesn't usually take this long. But he will guide us through. He always has. We have faith.
Sure. But shelter looks like a more pressing concern.
I made my point. You can see why Aloy's missing the mark.
Look at yourselves. Those machines nearly wiped you out. And Oseram thugs are watching you, just waiting to strike.
Look at that guy's
You're in
haircut.
danger here. You need to grab Savohar and get out.
Our situation. This is the worst we've endured. I know we cannot stay here, but without Savohar to guide us, I don't...
Let me up there. And I'll convince him it's time to move on.
But his meditation... If he hasn't received his vision, he won't follow.
At least let me check on him. If he's been up there for days.
Yes. Yes, that is sensible, I suppose. Please, be careful. The trail up to the tower is falling apart. Savohar is strong, but it could not have been an easy climb.
It rarely is.
Let the Nora pass.
That was a bit better. You know, appealing to her worry about his safety and saying, at least let me go check on him. Much better way to handle that.
Looks like I should head up.
Did I just overcomplicate this? I sure did. That's fine. That's what I do.
Part of the ladder. Akasha was right. The trail's in bad shape.
Hey, look, I can climb that.
This looks recent. Must have broken off when Savohar climbed up here.
Oh, baby. Good thing I've got this.
Bet a dyer would be interested in this. I think I can reach those beams if I jump against the cliff.
Oh, come on, Aloy. You could absolutely double jump up there. You kidding me? Come on. The hell? There's no way that this is as hard as I'm making it. What the hell? Hold on.
Hope this tastes as good as it looks.
Yeah! Woo! Woohoo! Yahoo! If I had Mario, I could do this. Why? Oh boy. Ryan, get it together, buddy. Wow, what am I? Oh, all right, there we go. All right, come on. Oh boy, there we go. Jesus. All right. Wowzers.
Useful for making dyes.
All right, I can appreciate that I was forced to think my way through that. These ladders suck ass. These people need to make better ladders.
Ladder must have broken off after Savahar passed through. I need to find another way up.
That dude like 300 pounds?
Broken bridge. I might be able to make the jump to the other side.
Might. That's fine. Screw it. Hey, hey, ha, ha. Hey, hey, ha. Ah, okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
It's a lot of blood. Savohar's? He must have hurt himself pretty bad getting over the bridge. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean...
Looks like he left a trail. I can follow with my focus. There's the Stormbird. Getting closer.
It's cool that it's like perched up there like that. Alright. What have we here? Got some fun little dude skis to fight. Where are you at, my brother?
Machines. Savahar must have snuck past them. I could probably slip past them. Or take them out. Cauldrons could teach me how to work these machines. But where would they be? That's all of them.
Easy. Alright, this dude snuck around. I'm gonna go check this out real quick. Okay, that's probably the way that we're gonna go down.
There's Savahar. In pretty bad shape.
Oh boy. Whoa. Oh wow, he's old.
The true sun above me, the true sun before me. Show me the way this eventide. The true sun above me.
You must be Savahar.
The true sun before me. Show me the way this eventide. No. No. The vessel must be empty for the coming vision.
You don't need a vision. You need medical attention.
Okay. Here we go. Belief is so powerful, man. When I said that faith and doctrine and the cultness of this can lead people to make decisions that are antithetical to their own well-being, this is what I'm talking about. This guy is refusing water. I'm guessing is going to refuse medical attention. Has no interest in what Aloy's offering here. Because of what he believes. This guy might meditate to himself to death, believing that doing so makes him a martyr. There are all sorts of stories and narratives that this guy may have that he perpetuates for himself that can absolutely be frustrating. If you're a person like Aloy who values medical attention when you are in physical discomfort, then you're going to be frustrated watching this guy go through this. But if you want to engage your empathy, which I highly recommend you do, this guy could very well look at the use of medical attention as just as bad as Aloy seeing him refusing it. As evidenced by the fact that Aloy just poured water in this guy's mouth despite being dehydrated and he spit it out. You can't force somebody to take medical attention. And Aloy immediately coming in here and basically saying what you're doing is bullshit, you need medical help, isn't going to help her. Because this guy has probably already constructed a huge series of narratives that make it such that despite the fact that he's suffering right now, it's all part of the plan and it's all okay. She could ask him, are you interested in medical attention? You seem hurt and dehydrated. I'm worried about you. But if he says to Aloy, no, screw off. I'm waiting for the sun to talk to me. I don't want your water. I don't want your shit. If I die here, I die here. You let him go. Not your decision to make for him. Just because you see him as in a cult and maybe like batshit crazy, this guy, this is his reality. He might be delirious. He might not be of sound mind and body right now. And this is where context is really important, because are we going to override that because we believe that his doctrine is unrealistic? Thus, the decision he's making here is a problem, and thus medical attention and my intervention is more important than whatever it is he believes. Like, do I believe that his doctrine is not indicative of sound mind and body? It very well could be that this guy's made this decision fully consensually with himself. Like, this is complicated shit. But the ultimate point that I want to make here is that this is the absolute personification of the fact that belief and full-on indulgence in a particular doctrine and set of constructs can absolutely lead people to make decisions that are antithetical to their own well-being, whether physically or mentally or both. And it can be very hard to watch if you don't share that. I'm not here to say that this guy's wrong. I'm also not here to say he's right. He's got people down below in that camp that are depending on him. That is a choice that they're making. You certainly could go back down this hill and be like, dude, that guy's messed up. He's dehydrated. He's in need of medical attention. He ain't coming down, and you guys are in danger, so you got to decide what you want to do with that. Like, he does have some degree of responsibility. But is that Aloy's place to do if this guy genuinely wants to be up here? It's really tricky. The idea that you would knock him out and drag him down the mountain, I think that would be sorely misguided by Aloy to do something like that.
On the way up, I saw parts of the trail had given way. Is that how you hurt yourself?
My pain, all part of the ritual.
You're hurt bad. And your people are running out of time. Staring at the Stormbird isn't solving anything.
You don't understand the omen. It fell here at the beacon. I just need to see the twilight path. My people will find their home.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy feels an immense amount of responsibility. Like, he's connecting with the amount of responsibility that he's constructed for himself about these people that follow him. This guy believes fully that a twilight path is going to reveal itself from him via the Stormbird. He believes that. He is all in on that. And it's hard, because if you don't subscribe to that, it's really hard to watch. You're like, bro, don't think that's going to happen. But this guy is all in on it. And so at some point, as a person who is engaging with him, particularly in this specific context, you may have to let it ride. And you can either go down that hill and say, I found him dead, which would be a lie. Or you could say, he's in bad shape, and I don't know that he's going to be able to make it down. If you guys want to wait for him to do that, you can, but you're in real danger. I've warned you. I did my part. I warned you. I gave you more variables to work with. If you guys decide that you want to stay down here because you think that this guy's going to come back down the mountain, be my guest. But yeah, like, this guy, he believes he's responsible to these people, and he's doing what he believes is the right thing to do. And at some point, your intervention here, like, you could say, nope, my reality here is more important. My reality here is more close to the objective. Maybe.
Listen, Lakasha is doing the best she can down there, but machine attacks, angry Oseram. The Order is scared, Savar.
The last rays of eventide
will
burn away their fear.
I don't think so.
Well, she tried. That was not a bad way to deal with that, because she was appealing to his empathy for his people. Like, she used that information there to try to get him to do something and to activate him. And again, this guy's got a story for all this, man. The sun will burn it all away. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get to him.
What do you think's gonna happen here? If you sit long enough, the sun will show you something?
A path to a new home. The fallen machine can only mean that the storm has passed. And salvation is at hand.
Or some Oseram shot it, and it hit an old tower.
I get it. I get Aloy's frustration. I'm sure many of you do as well. I don't envy her position here.
Look, I think you punctured a lung. You can't heal it with prayer.
Oh.
The sun will provide. And I will not lose faith.
I'd be more concerned about losing blood.
You let him go. I don't know, man. At some point, like, this is where this guy's at. Is it really Aloy's responsibility to try to deprogram this guy while he sits on top of the mountain? I don't know. Like, at this point, if you're Aloy, you're like, all right, dude. I mean, yeah, I guess her last ditch effort would be like, if you were hoping that the sun was going to send some help, I'm that help. But that's the thing, is like, Aloy's missing the mark here with her impatience. She's engaging with her. This is a common theme in every playthrough that I ever do. You need to understand your audience. If you want to break through and get to people, you have to understand who you're talking to. You have to understand their context. You got to meet them where they are. Aloy is going about this from her reality. She is going about this from the whole, like, logical, I know an Oseram shot the bird, it fell down, it crashed into the watchtower, and I personally believe that doesn't mean shit other than an Oseram shot the bird. And I've got a whole lot of context of what Zero Dawn was, and I know that these machines were designed to cultivate the earth, and I've seen Gaia, and I blah, 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 blah. Like, she knows all this stuff, and that's fine. That's fine. Aloy can have that, but when she's engaging with this guy, she is perpetually going to miss the mark if she works with her reality here. If you're going to work with this guy and get him to move in any kind of way, you got to work with his reality. And so, yes, could you make an appeal that the sun himself possibly sent her as a means to help him and to check your experience and see if that feels true? You could go for that. You could absolutely take that shot. And if he goes, nah, then you leave. You leave. But Aloy just keeps doubling down on her frustrations because of her reality. And that's what he's going to have. He will have an explanation prepared for every single thing that she says to him.
Your people are worried about you. They need shelter, security.
The true sun above me. The true sun before me. Show me the way. This eventide.
I think you've been staring at your salvation this whole time.
The true sun above me.
Gotta get over to that Stormbird. Grab its heart.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad that we're not dragging his ass down the mountain. You want to stay up here and do it? Be my guest, my brother. Very sad, though. It's painful to watch that kind of thing. Really painful.
Stormbird heart is valuable. Enough to feed all the refugees waiting below. And his answer is sunstroke and a prayer? Why does every priest I meet think blind faith is the answer to everything?
Because that's what they've been taught. They have been... You want to call it brainwashed, you want to call it programmed, whatever it is. Because people are susceptible to this shit. It's amazing. He has not, and like, look, he has not, amidst all of this, part of the reason that this man is in the position he's in, and why the people that he's taking care of are in the position that they're in, is because they haven't been taught how to critically think. Critical thought is a relatively uniquely human issue. Like, there are other animals that are kind of capable of thinking their way around something, but we have ridiculously sophisticated ability to critically think about stuff. But it has to be taught. It has to be cultivated. And if you are not a person who has had much exposure to what critical thought actually looks like, how to take variables in from your environment and synthesize them in a particular type of way, or to consider unknowns, to lean into discomfort, all the stuff that comes along with that, you're going to cling to this stuff. That's the sad part to me, is like this guy never had an opportunity, as far as I can tell, to critically think about the way in which he's navigating the world. Because if he critically thought about it, he could still subscribe to his doctrine and invite in the idea, the dissonant idea, that perhaps what he is doing right now is not what he needs to be doing right now. Which is why cults and certain groups will attack education and try to make sure that people don't have access to that type of stuff, because education is in part one of the ways that we help people critically think about the world around them. If you want to control people and you want them to operate off of fear and you want them to just listen to you unconditionally, you would damn well better make sure they're not educated. All right. Dude, that thing's rusted out already. How long has this thing been up here?
The Osram that was watching the refugees probably went to get Tallen. I gotta get them out of here before he comes back.
Ooh, signal lens. Cool.
Lens. Guess I'll figure out what to do with it later.
Dude, this thing's been up here for a while. Look at that. That's cool as hell. What a shot. This guy was able to bring this thing in and it crashed down like this.
There. The Order should be able to afford shelter with this heart. Some food and a change of clothes wouldn't hurt either.
Man, my brother, I want to talk to you one more time.
Sabahar? How you holding up?
I need to get back over there.
Oh, baby.
Savar? I guess you did the best you could. Rest easy now. I'll make sure your people are safe. I should let Lakasha know. And give her the Stormbird heart.
Oof. You know what, though? On one hand, it's really sad. On one hand, you look at this and you go, damn, dude. It didn't have to end that way. On the other hand, that's probably how he would have wanted to go. Like, if you put yourself in his context, I don't know that he would want it any other way. Just kind of wild to think about. Like, if we project our shit onto him, that's sad. If we think about his, he died doing what he believed he needed to do to save his people. There's like a very passive beauty to that. Now, we're going to give this heart to the cult lady instead of to the Oseram guy. So this ought to be interesting.
Don't make this difficult. Get out of the way.
Bro.
There's Tallen with his thugs.
Bro, hold on. Hold on. Hey!
I'm a generous gent. So I'll give you one more chance to make it easy on yourselves and clear out.
We won't let you pass, Oseram. If you choose bloodshed, that's on your conscience.
Ain't it just like the Carja to make things harder than they have to be? Okay, boys. You heard her. Get your consciences ready.
Hold on now, Tallen.
You again? Listen, I'm all out of patience here. I clipped that Stormbird's wings. The salvage is mine. I don't care who gets in my way. Nora savages or Shadow Carja fleabags. I'm taking it.
I mean, look at her. She's willing to essentially do the same thing. She's like, all right, you want to beat the shit out of me? Go for it. I mean, it's powerful. Like, there is something very, like, empowering and calming about being in a cult. Like, she's just like, you want to beat the shit out of me? Go for it. I'm sticking to my guns. And what's really interesting about this, and I think there's a real beauty to this quest line, is that I think if this guy wasn't being a dick, there would be an interesting conversation here about how his rigid adherence to the law or the rules is kind of culty. Like, if he's like, I shot the Stormbird, so I'm entitled to the heart for all the reasons that we've decided are important, that's not much different. So much so that I'm willing to kill all of you in order to get it, and I'm justified in my actions in doing so. It's a philosophical conversation for another day. I don't know why this guy is as aggressive as he is. I'm sure there's probably some reason for it, but because he's being this aggressive and because he's putting other people at danger in order to fulfill his whatever, it's a lot harder to get there with the empathy, because I don't think there's much of a conversation to be had here with this guy. I think Aloy, unfortunately, is going to have a bit of a show of force here on him. That because we just don't have any rapport. In reality, I know it's a video game and I know I'm going to whoop their asses. I don't think I'd say you'll have to go through me. I think what I would try to do is go probably the tough break. Just give it a shot, knowing I can defend myself if I need to. Finders Keepers is a bit of a taunt, and I don't know that that's going to help my cause here.
Okay, so you clipped the Stormbird. But it's brought you nothing but trouble since. Refugees, squabbles, me. Might be hard to swallow, but it's time to cut your losses, don't you think?
Come on, boss. It's not worth it.
I'm surprised that worked, but whatever. She's not entirely wrong. And also, I guess it gets him into a bit more of like bark over bite, but I don't know that he'd have been that amenable to that if this is real life.
Okay. You win. Hey, I'm doing fine. I don't need that salvage anyhow. But these people need all the help they can get. Come on, boys. Back to Chain Scrape. I need a drink.
Aloy, again, we thank you.
You're welcome. Now take this heart. Use it to buy food, clothes, shelter for your people. Maybe even land to build a new home.
This is... Savahar must make these decisions.
No, I'm sorry, Lakasha. Savahar isn't coming back. He's gone. I know it's hard. But your people need a leader now. Go to Chainscrape. Talk to the forge woman there, Petra. Give her the Stormbird heart. She'll look after you and your people until you can get back on your feet. Find your path.
Whoa! Whoa! Aloy. Whoa. Whoa. If I'm Petra, I'm standing in the daunt like, what? No! Whoa! That's not what I signed up for. What are you doing? Aloy. I thought Aloy was gonna go in the direction of like, okay, like you should probably be the leader. Like you seem like you have your shit together, or get your people together, vote for a new leader. You can do it. I realize it sucks. Like she was doing a good job. Like I realize it sucks. It's hard. Your guy's gone. Pray to the sun. Do whatever you got to do. Figure out a leader. Go buy some shit. But Aloy saying go to the town and talk to Petra and she'll take care of you and lead you for now? Whoa. Whoa. Don't do that. Petra didn't consent to that. That's a really shitty position for Aloy to put Petra in. Even if Petra was the most well-equipped person in the entire universe to be their leader, unless Petra specifically told Aloy, if shit gets messed up over there, I'll take them in. You do not put her in that position. Because these people are vulnerable right now. These people are in the same kind of vulnerable, susceptible position that they were in to an extent that they were when they got picked up by the cult. So for Aloy to just send them over to Petra in their vulnerable state and dump that on her is such a problem. Such a problem. These people have figured out a way to be a self-sustaining ecosystem. So these people are responsible for determining what it is that they're going to do. You wrote Petra in like that. This woman goes to that town and talks to Petra, and she's like, Aloy said you'd take care of us. And Petra's like, nah, I ain't taking that on. I don't know how to do this shit. Now these people are like doubly vulnerable. That's bad friend energy right there. Aloy should be like, hey, I'm going to go to that payphone in that tent over there and make a call real quick. I'll be right back. And you go and you call Petra. Hey, Petra, you cool if I send him over? And Petra's like, hell no, don't do that shit. I'm not in on that. It's more than I signed up for when I sent you out there. I only sent you out there because I want these people to move. Great. If Petra says, yeah, send them my way, I'll take care of them, then cool. But holy shit. To offer that up to Petra like that? Oh. Woo! Big miss. Big miss. I get given the heart to Petra. If she said give the heart to Petra and Petra will go sell the heart and get you the stuff you need, great. But Petra will take care of you? If Aloy said if you go to town and like my friend Petra's there and like maybe she'll help you, or ask her like, you know, where to talk to the whatever, like that would be one thing. But the way that Aloy pitched this, I think the reason I'm so like, whoa here is because I think Aloy is kind of misfiring a bit on how vulnerable these people are. And when she says she'll take care of you, she is liable to get these people stuck in a thought process that Petra is going to be something that she's not. Like, it's the power of language and context here. That's where I'm coming from on this. Because this woman hasn't said to Aloy or shown like, yes, I will take care of, I will lead these people. Like Aloy just thrust the Stormbird heart on her and said, go sell it. But like, if this woman was like, all right, I'll take care of these people, I'll do it. Do you know where I could go next? Yeah. But again, sending them to Petra and saying she'll take care of you, you have to be careful. You have to know your audience. Again, when I do these analyses, I don't always claim to be right. I'm just giving you my perspective. If I'm trying to get on the vibe that this cult woman's on, that's a big yikes. Aloy's got to be crystal clear with her language and understand what she's working with here.
I'll do my
She'll
best,
look
Aloy.
after you and your people. That's literally what she said. She will look after you and your people. That is not, you know, she'll sell you some shit. That is language that suggests that Petra will do what the guy who just died up on the mountain was doing.
What choice do I have?
Plenty.
Here. Please accept this. It is modest, but I hope it helps in some small way. To chain scrape, then.
Oh man, what a mess all that was. Holy hell. Mahoodles, hi! Thank you for the raid. Those of you that are coming along with the lovely Mahoodles, whom you should follow if you do not follow. Hi, I'm DrMick. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I have a PhD in human development, and you are coming into Game Sessions with a Therapist, which is where we play cool games like Horizon Forbidden West. And I use these games to illustrate psychological concepts and to educate people on mental health, psychology, therapy, and more. Try to destigmatize those things, bring information to folks who wouldn't otherwise have it in a responsible and ethical way. This is a blind run, so if you are coming in here and you're excited about the fact that I'm playing this game, I ask that you please not spoil anything and do not backseat. We are very early on in the game, so my ability to analyze these games is predicated on my not knowing what's happening. So if you choose to stick around, which I really hope you do, please be cool on the spoilers and backseating. If you'd like to see some of my other playthroughs, or you'd like to catch up on this playthrough, I encourage you to check that link down in the comment or in the in the chat, so that you can check out my stuff. But Mahoodles, thank you so much for bringing people my way. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope you had a wonderful stream. All right. Okay. Cool. All right, we're good. Are you enjoying the game so far? Absolutely. I am a huge fan of the Horizon games, both Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. We finished the Zero Dawn run a while ago, and playing through Forbidden West is really a treat because takes everything that was awesome about Zero Dawn and makes it better. So we are very early on in the run, so I'm excited to see where all of this goes. All right. I just trampled a boar. And I will say that I appreciate all of you being here. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, if you're here live with me on Twitch, I am truly appreciative of your support of my channel. Thank you for making the effort to watch this. I hope you've been enjoying it. Leave that thumbs up in the comments if you haven't already. These have been really, really fun to do. All right, let's get this weapon. Let's see what this weapon's all about.
I should dismount.
Oh, can't bring my horsey in here? Fine.
I know that look. You've got all the parts, haven't you?
Here you go.
Outstanding! I only need a few minutes to finish the prototype.
I'll take the version that won't blow my arms off. Thanks. Hi.
So did you blow up any machines to get the parts? Or any bandits?
You really like explosions, huh?
Here we go.
With the boomsticks?
Oh, you betcha.
Is it safe?
Probably.
Can I have one?
No!
Oh.
'Cause we're gonna make you something even better.
Ba-boom!
Spike throwers launch powerful projectiles that can hit enemies at long range. Due to their long buildup, they have a slow rate of fire and cannot be used while jumping or crouching. Spikes must be thrown at full draw in order to penetrate armor. Okay.
What about a rope caster?
But ropes don't explode.
Sweet. Let's go ahead and put that on. All right, I'm a fan. I'm excited to try that. Explosive spikes pack. Oh baby! All right. All right. So we need to talk to. Oh, that was who we needed to talk to. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Let's go talk to Petra. Let's see what she thinks about the fact that I did that. I just dumped everybody on her. What up, my girl?
Making sparks fly out there?
Has Tallen been giving the refugees any trouble?
Nah. He's still nursing his pride over at his shop. I've seen Karja fuss pots made of tougher stuff than that brittle bolt. Anyway, he knows if he messes with the Shadow Karja, he messes with me.
I'll, see you around, Petra.
Until next time.
All right. Well, you want to go check on him? Should we go antagonize him a bit just by showing up? Be petty as hell? I mean, he showed up while I was doing my thing. What's up, big dog?
Here to rub it in, redhead? I ain't listening.
Just wanted to have a look around your shop and see what kind of cool shit you're building over here without a Stormbird heart. Remember that time you killed a Stormbird and then you didn't get it? Didn't even get its heart? You remember that time? You remember when that happened? I remember it because I was there. Oh, and I had the Stormbird heart. Alrighty. We got ourselves a little unknown over here. I'm intrigued.
You gotta move. You gotta move.
Will you be at TwitchCon this year? I will. Thankfully, I live in Las Vegas, so it's very easy for me to be there, so I will be there. If you will be, I would love to say hello. If you're yeah, I saw you're going to be doing a panel, so that's cool as hell. All right. Oh, there's a watchtower over there. That's what it is. Let's gallop our way over. Place is freaking beautiful. Also, can we just take a second to talk about how I'm not even like out of the starting area and we're like 5 episodes in? It's absolutely ridiculous. I've literally just been in Zion for 5 episodes. Now, getting up there, gonna be... Oh, I gotta go the long way. There will be no Skyrim climbing for me. Five of 275. I've seen people in the Discord taking bets on how long this playthrough is gonna be. We'll see if it breaks the record. The Mass Effect trilogy still has the record at the time of filming this. Howdy, folks.
Better leave this map outside.
I don't want to do the hunting grounds. I do not find hunting grounds to be particularly enjoyable. Come on. Come on, you donkey! Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you, come on! Hey! Ah!
Learn if there's a cauldron out here.
Let's go up the mountain. I'm gonna make a mountain charger out of you yet. Horizon Zero Dawn was 35 parts, I believe.
I think I can climb up this cliff.
And yes, for those who have been wondering, I will be playing the DLC for this game.
I'll save this for a dyer.
All right, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Enjoy where we are now.
This camp was abandoned a while ago.
Oh, it's 32, okay. I swear to God, War, if you ram into me, I'm gonna be pissed. Don't you do it. Don't, yeah, that's right, run away.
An old Karja watchtower. Maybe I should check it out.
What do you think we came up here for, Aloy? To pick up rocks? Yeah! This is outrageous that she's strong enough to do that. Like, my core, or my groin just hurts every time I watch her do that. This chain.
This tower is barely holding together.
No, it's all right. That chain's holding it together. Somebody just tied a chain around it and said, "This baby, this'll hold."
Made it. And there's another one of those devices.
I'm excited to figure out what the hell these are for.
I've got another lens. I'll tuck this in for now.
Whoa. Look at that. Oh, man. Hades chilling over there, maybe? The Cosmodrome's over there. Dude, I'm telling you, Vegas got to be over there. Southwest. I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. If it exists, I'm telling you. There's people that are watching this video right now or in chat that know whether we're going to go to Vegas or not. And I'm jealous that you know the answer. Don't tell me. Don't you tell me. Woo! Red Who Quarry. We went over there. Wait, chain scrape. Talk to the pitmaster. Oh no, all right, I don't want to do that yet. Can't go in there. Nothing here. All right, go to the gates. Pearly gates, baby. Paragon, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate that very much, friend. Talk to Thurless. Dude, look at my tummy still full from that meal I had. I don't want to... No, I don't want to talk to that guy. That's not what I want. I want to go here. I'm just passing through here, fellas. I'm not into doing the hunting shit yet.
Is that you, Red? I thought you'd pay us a visit.
Why did I have a question mark above my stash? Not into it. See you later, boys. This place is cool.
Barren light. Last part of the Sundom before the Forbidden West. A Karja horn. Maybe that means the embassy's starting soon.
Ooh, but there's side stuff to do first. Ooh. I don't need no stinking embassy. Think shit ain't even gonna work until I get there. I gotta look at these feats of Osram engineering first. Like, look at that. You guys, there's like a thing up there. We gotta go up there. On these unclimbable walls. Huh. I gotta go that way, I guess. It would seem. Oh boy. I'm not gonna kill Aloy or break her ankles here, so let's go this way. We're so early in this game, we don't have object permanence yet. The embassy doesn't exist if we don't see it. That's right. That's right. That's how that works. Who are these people talking? Oh yeah, give me these climbable walls. Let's go. have we here? Signals of the sun. Osram needs to help fend off a machine attack near an old Karja watchtower. Can do.
Get away from me, you bucket of balls!
Oh! How cool is that shit?
Help! I'm hurt!
Hang tight, friend.
You did it! You got them all!
What's up? I'll be there in a second. I gotta get some valuable shit. Can't have you taking loot off of my corpses like I did with that other guy. I wanna know what this is. What is this? Just pretty.
Has to be a way to get rid of this.
Hybridized crystalline and fungal growth of unknown origin. Invulnerable to impact. Special gear required to clear. Seems like a job for the javelin. Yeah! Oh, shit! Alright, maybe not. Maybe this lady will give me what I need.
Come now. Let me thank you properly.
No need to act suspicious.
Let's have a word, stranger.
What's up?
Are you hurt?
I live.
What are you doing up here?
That used to be a signal tower. The mechanism uses a special lens which, in some very specific circles, is highly valuable. And since the Karja are planning on tearing them down, I was going to liberate the lens before it got destroyed. You get it for me, and the lenses from the other towers. I'll make it very worth your while.
By doing what? Buying it for less than what I could sell it to these important people for, so that you could go relay it to them?
You said that was a signal tower.
In its day, it was a sight to see. All 6 of them, all lit up, all around the Dawns. They used to warn folks that the Tanax were coming, for whatever that was worth. As you can imagine, the Karja spared no expense putting them together. Hence the fancy lenses in need of a new home before the towers are torn down.
So, you're a thief.
Oh, that's bullshit. Wow. There's a very powerful tool in interpersonal dynamics that unfortunately gets used by people in positions of power. And this was the driving force of a very important dynamic in one of the other games that we played. I won't spoil which one, but those of you who watched will know. If you've ever heard somebody say the phrase, every accusation is a confession, I'm going to give a little bit of nuance to this. What does that mean? One of the best ways to get people thrown off the trail if you're doing something unsavory or doing something that you believe is unsavory is to accuse people of the thing that you are doing. Because humans generally like to assume that people wouldn't dare be hypocrites. Being a hypocrite is a unsavory trait pretty much universally. So we tend to make the assumption that you would never accuse somebody of doing something that you were doing because that would make you a hypocrite. And if you leverage that very common benefit of the doubt that people will extend your way, you can do what Aloy just did, which is accuse this woman of something that she is. I have stolen 5 lenses. If we use Aloy's language. So Aloy walks up here, this lady's like, hey, I want to take those lenses. And Aloy's like, so that makes you a thief. Well, why would Aloy call that person a thief if she herself was doing that thing? If you're a person in a position of power, you can usually get people off your scent very quickly by doing something like that. So if you notice that there is a significant amount of accusation about something with really no data to support it, it would behoove you at some point to potentially look behind the curtain and ask yourself, is that person potentially making an accusation as a way to mask their own agenda or convictions? It's not always the case, but this is certainly the case here with what Aloy just did. They're actually, I don't know if it's still as common now as it was maybe back in like the 80s or 90s. But back when I'm going to give you an example that's maybe not as like nefarious. It's more like protective, because sometimes people look at this as like being a really bad thing. But there are some ways in which this is protective. An example of this would be like in the 80s and 90s. Being gay was not, it was way harder to be open about being gay. Like, we didn't really exist in a culture that was particularly kind to folks who were gay. So if you were a person in any kind of position where being outed as gay could potentially harm your career or your status or whatever, one of the best ways to mask that would be to be incredibly homophobic. Potentially accuse other people of being gay, or just to really be anti-gay. Because why on earth would a person who's gay engage in homophobic rhetoric? And this is something that, again, I'm not saying that doing that is a bad thing. I mean, perpetuating homophobia is a bad thing. But there was a way of protecting oneself from being outed if you did that. And ultimately, is that harmful? Yes, because you have a person who's not engaging with their authenticity, and they're also perpetuating narratives that harm other people. But it's a similar concept. It's a very like fundamental, accessible way to throw people off the scent of things that you are vulnerable about or sensitive to, which is really the core point that I want to make here. So again, it's just something to be mindful of. If people are like particularly adamant about something, is there a chance that they are saying that because it's something that they're doing and don't want to be found out? You see this in politics a lot. Hogan, thank you for the sub.
I'm more what you'd call an opportunist with a good eye for business. Look, the Karja are gonna tear all these towers down anyway. They see no value here. They're trying to make nice with the Tenakth now. See? It's a victimless crime. Opportunity.
Tell that to your friend down there.
Self-inflicted.
Whoa!
Why can't you do it?
Look, even if I hadn't hurt my ankle here, I'm clearly nowhere near as capable as you. Oh, come on. I can't just let the lenses go to waste. That's not what my father would have wanted.
Ooh, hit me with that guilt trip.
Your father, is he a thief? Sorry, opportunist, too?
Bro, Aloy has got to chill. Aloy's got to chill. Like, I really think she shoots herself in the foot more often than not by making all sorts of assumptions about people and then operating from those assumptions. Like, she really struggles to engage meaningfully and empathically with people. She did a great job with Varl, but think of how long it took for her to warm up to Varl. Like, she really has a tendency to come in like a battering ram on some of these things. She gets hostile, she gets aggressive, she gets accusatory. Like, these are not things that you want to bring to your interpersonal relationships if you want to cultivate rapport with the people around you. But I do, right? I love this. Like, Aloy's going to be all hostile. She's going to accuse this woman of being a thief. And then this woman's going to be like, I want you to get the lenses. You know, if you sell them to me, I'll give you a lot of money. And Aloy's going to go, oh, I got 5 of them.
No. He helped design the towers. Before he passed on.
So that's how you know about the lenses.
Yeah. And why they have sentimental value.
Sure, I'll help you.
I already found some, actually.
Well, look at that. Looks like you're quite the opportunist too, eh? Let me take these off your hands then.
Look, you all know I love these games. I have loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I am loving Forbidden West. I have also said that at any point in time, I am willing to offer my services of consultation to people who are trying to write narratives in games. Aloy's way of showing up to this conversation, knowing where this conversation is going to go, makes 0 sense to me. Like, it is, this is one of the very few times in the Horizon series where I'm like, really? Just doesn't make any sense. This could have been done better.
This should be a nice reward for your efforts. I'm an honest merchant, after all. Thank you, Aloy.
She's more honest than Aloy.
Well, Aloy, as soon as I'm up for it, I'll be going back to Barren Light to rest this ankle. But I'll stick around in case you want to get me that lens up this tower here. No pressure, just saying. Promise it'll be worth it.
I'll see what I can do.
Wow, I got 60 metal shards. Oh, baby, high roller.
He was trying to pull that.
Now, let me just blow up this tower.
I'm in.
Yeah, don't spend them all at once. I'll try not to. Yeah, let's bring the whole baby down. Wow, careful, Aloy. Let's bring it down. Whole thing, bring it down. We don't need this stupid ass tower anyway. What are we doing? Come on. Whoa! She's like, my father designed these towers. They're so meaningful to me. There's lenses at the top. And Aloy's like, let me just rip that shit down, fam.
I am really busting up this place.
Yeah, you really are. Oh, shit. Oh, no. What the hell do I have all over my pants? Do I need to, like, take a shower?
one of the signal devices.
Yeah, why not?
Should be a lens I can grab for Reyna.
Yeah, just get yourself $10, Aloy.
I can trade it with Reyna the next time I see her.
Yeah. Yeah, for a cool $10. Let's go down this way.
Did you find the lens?
Maybe. If you're ready to trade.
Ha! Let's deal.
Here you go.
Isn't that a sight? And here's a little something for your troubles. Now, if you find any more of these, make sure to come find me at Barren Light.
You got it.
See you around.
$15 metal shards. All right, cool. Thank you. And she's gonna go sell. She's gonna go take them and sell them for like $2,000 a piece because I'm naive as hell, and I have no idea what those things are actually worth. Oh baby. What's the fastest way? Can I, Woo! Is it square or circle? Oh god. Alright, well, didn't matter. Probably better to go feet first anyway. Who's this guy? Hey! What are you doing, bud?
Everything okay up there?
What, so you care now?
Yeah, no, I'm just making small talk.
Keep up the good work.
I was not ready for that. Holy shit. Yeah, no, just making small talk. Hey, appreciate the honesty, buddy.
Alright, I should find whoever's in charge here. But first, I could resupply at my stash. Might be worth taking a look around, too.
And that'll be a very fun thing to do in part 6. Friends, thank you so much for taking the time to slowly trickle our way down to Barren Light. I appreciate your enthusiasm for this playthrough. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you for the comments. Thanks for following the links down in the description. 6 episodes in, we still haven't even made it to the Forbidden West. How about it? So part 6 will be fun. Thank you so much for taking the time. Those of you that financially support the stream, thank you for doing that as well. I'm really grateful for your support. It means a lot, and it helps me pay my fabulous editor, Sean, for all the hard work that he does for the stream. So thank you very much. If you're binging, I will see you on the next one right over there. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, we will get it out as soon as we can. Appreciate you. See you on the next one.